Watch. This attractive girl entered the haram in Makkah today and challenged Allah in front of the Kaaba and among the pilgrims. But what happened to her afterward was a miracle that shook the haram in Makkah. So what did this girl do that brought upon her immediate divine punishment just seconds after her heinous act? Stay with us to know the details of this incident that made everyone repeat, Subhanallah. But before we begin, if you are a Muslim, do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, for whoever guides to goodness is like the one who does it. Today's story is a true story that happened just a few days ago, before the Hajj season, in front of the Kaaba. Its heroine was a Muslim Arab girl who stood arrogantly, challenging the might of Allah. Her presence in the haram was not by chance, but the beginning of a miracle that shook the haram in Makkah. The events begin with a girl from an Arab country who was Muslim and belonged to a religiously committed family. But this girl hated adherence to the teachings of Islam and loved freedom and doing whatever came to her mind without restrictions. At university, the girl found an environment that encouraged her rebellion. She met friends there and formed relationships with some boys and girls who openly expressed their atheism. In their gatherings, the friends mocked religion, laughed without shame, and spoke disrespectfully about everything sacred. But one day the girl came to her friends crying and shouting. They asked her, "What's wrong? Why are you crying?" The girl said her family had decided to go for Hajj this year and forced her to accompany them to the Kaaba, while she did not want that. She continued saying, "I don't know what to do. Should I run away from it?" One of her friends gave a wicked smile and then suggested a devilish idea that she liked. He told her, "Why don't you go with your family and stand in front of the Kaaba, challenging Allah there? Then you will prove to everyone that religion is nothing but a myth, that God is just an illusion, and that Allah is incapable of doing anything to you." The girl liked the idea as if she saw it as a heroic challenge, so she traveled with her family for Hajj while planning for the grand challenge, just waiting for the right moment. When she arrived at the haram in Makkah, the great mockery began. The girl stood in front of the Kaaba and began to speak loudly with words full of foolishness that were inappropriate for the place. Then she took out her phone and started recording her shameless speech and provocative laughter. After that, she approached one of the women in the haram, held her in a strange way, and started saying, "Oh people, how long will this deception last? What is this great farce? You circumambulate around a stone and think you are pleasing a God who neither sees nor hears. Where is the wisdom in what you are doing?" The woman next to her said to her, "Fear Allah regarding yourself." Everyone around her began looking at her with astonishment and wonder. Among the pilgrims was a man from one of the Arab countries who was surprised by her actions. He immediately approached her to advise and warn her about what she was doing. But every time he came closer, the girl moved away and ignored him. So the man shouted loudly at her, saying, "Fear Allah, O woman. You are in a great place. Don't you fear Allah's punishment here?" The girl turned toward him and arrogantly replied, "The Kaaba, a great place? What are you saying, you senile man? This Kaaba that you circumambulate is nothing but a big deception for Muslims. There is no reckoning or life after death. I am here today, challenging Allah in front of everyone to show you that Islam is not true as you believed. And if there really is a God, then let his punishment fall upon me now, here." The man could only respond with his final words to her. He said sorrowfully, "Imagine Allah the Almighty takes your soul while you are in this state. How will you face your Creator after challenging him like this?" The girl responded confidently, "I assure you, I will leave this place just as I entered it, laughing, unharmed and victorious over your delusion. And if the angel of death actually comes to me, I'll tell him to wait for me at the gate of the haram. because I don't want to die now. I decide my own fate." The man was stunned by her audacity. He raised his hands to the sky and said, "O Allah, I have conveyed the message. O Allah, bear witness." Then he turned away from her and continued his tawaf. But only a few minutes later, people heard the screams of women coming from the direction of the Haram gate. Everyone rushed toward the place, including the man who had just spoken to the girl. As he approached the location, he found a large crowd of pilgrims gathered around something. He moved closer to see what had happened, and in front of him was a body lying on the ground, surrounded by the pilgrims. When he uncovered the face of the corpse, the shock hit. He found that the body lying on the ground belonged to the very same girl who had challenged Allah the Almighty with such arrogance and mocked death. Allah had sent upon her the punishment she deserved and granted her exactly what she had asked for. The scene was too overwhelming to comprehend. As for the man, he stood in shock, tears pouring from his eyes. He said with a trembling voice, "O Allah, do not hold us accountable for what this girl has done. She did not know what she was saying. So look and take heed, O servants of Allah. Indeed, Allah the Almighty may delay punishing His servants, but He does not neglect them." And this girl was not the only one who challenged Allah the Almighty. There are many others who committed acts of utter foolishness and audacity against Allah the Exalted. Among them was this American girl who once asked Allah the Almighty to show her a single sign of His existence. And the answer from Allah came instantly. This girl was a Christian from America. One day she went on a road trip with her friends in her luxury car. During their journey, she began to mock religion and Islam with her friends. Their whole conversation was filled with ridicule and disrespect towards sacred things. Then the American girl stuck her head out of the car window, looked up at the sky, and shouted challengingly, "O God, if you exist, then show me something that proves your existence. Show me a single sign that you are real." Just a few seconds after she uttered those words, a terrifying lightning strike came down near the car and nearly hit her. The girl was terrified and went into a state of shock, unable to say a single word. That incident marked the beginning of her transformation. She began searching about Islam, reading the Quran, and comparing it to other religions, until a few months later, she announced her conversion to Islam. "Glory be to you, O Allah. You guide whom you will. Glory be to you, and you misguide whom you will. In your hand is all good, and you are capable of all things. O Allah, forgive and have mercy on everyone who shared this video." This powerful story serves as a stark reminder of the might, mercy, and justice of Allah. The arrogance of the first girl who challenged Allah in the holiest place on earth, the Haram in Makkah, resulted in a swift and shocking divine response. Her tragic end was not just a punishment, but a sign for those who witness and hear the story. Never mock the sacred and never test the Creator. The second story, about the American girl, highlights Allah's mercy and ability to guide even those who start from a place of disbelief. Her request for a sign was answered not with punishment, but with awe, leading her heart toward truth. That moment of fear opened a door to faith. Both incidents demonstrate two sides of divine reality. Allah may punish instantly, or He may guide, depending on intention, sincerity, and the unseen wisdom He alone knows. For believers, these stories reaffirm the sanctity of Islamic teachings and the seriousness of one's actions and speech, especially in sacred places. They also remind us to never give up on those who are lost, because guidance can come from even the most unexpected places and moments. O servants of Allah, fear Him, honor His signs, and never forget. He sees, hears, and responds, even when we least expect it.